Wow. Okay, everyone. Hello. This is another video sponsored by Squarespace, and I can tell you that there has been a lot of crazy stuff happening lately since the last time we talked. You may notice that I don't know how I sound right now, but to me, I sound a lot more echoey. 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 That's because, if you can't tell, I'm in a new place. You can't see my kitchen and stuff behind me. There's just like a wall and a couple of doors. It's because I'm not actually set up and drawing and broadcasting from my kitchen anymore. Yay me. I mean, I did like it. It was cozy in the kitchen, but it's cozy in here too. I just moved. Uh, I'll talk about it more later. There's just so much to say. Okay, a lot has happened. But as you can see, it's the reason why it's so echoey is because I haven't soundproofed anything yet. You know, I haven't put any of these little acoustic panels up. I don't know if these are really the best option, but I have some left over from the last time I put these up in my other apartment, so I might as well. The mistake I learned from last time is don't spray a bunch of spray adhesive on these and then put them up, because at least don't spray inside, because there's always overflow and then it gets all over everything inside, and then the whole inside of your apartment or house is sticky forever. Anyways, let's look at a new little, as the French say, montage of me setting up my new area. These three IKEA desks I have set up and broken down maybe 3 or 4 times now. 2 of them have 5 legs, one has 4 legs, each has 5 screws each. That's a lot of screwing, and I'm tired of it. Hopefully I can stay here for a little while. The last place I stayed, it took me way too long to realize it. the last apartment I was living in had 2 double doors with some windows in it. But apart from those two, but apart from that doorway, that apartment had no windows. No windows at all. The bedroom had no sunlight. The bathroom, no sunlight. There was a hallway, no sunlight. And then the only other room in the whole apartment was the kitchen slash living room slash dining room, which I had set up all of this in. And that had the double doors with the windows in it. It was terrible design. So I'm here. The house I'm living in now that I'm renting, I'm happy to announce has windows in every room. And I'm looking forward to creating a new and intimate and loving relationship with sunlight. Also, shout out to Blackmagic Design for sending me this cool monitor here, which I'm using to preview. It looks kind of crazy. I'm using this to preview I'm kind of being tripped out by this. Anyways, they sent me this, and they sent me a couple cameras to borrow. It used to be that I was plugging this HDMI cord into my computer way over there, and that's why you would often see me going like this to look and see what I was doing, so I didn't have to look way up here. It was complicated anyways, but this should make my workflow a little bit easier as long as I'm able to borrow this. I think they'll let me borrow it for a little while. More on topic. Whatever topic I'm on is on topic, so I shouldn't harass myself. I got some mail, and I want to talk about the mail because it is from a very nice person. But before I mention the mail, let's take a small break to talk about Squarespace. Squarespace represents the frontier of the internet, bringing all of the craziness out there together in one manageable place. You can take all of your social media accounts and use them to automatically update your website, or you can use your website linked to your social media accounts to automatically update them. And say you should ever run into a little problem or have one little thing you can't figure out for even a split second, their support staff is there, quick and ready to answer any of your problems. And they don't ship the stuff out to other companies. It's all in-house support. They know what they're doing. They're ready to answer your problems and help you set off smooth sailing across the seas of the internet. It's a crazy and wild web world out there, but why not have your own website? Go to squarespace.com for your free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/PeterDraws for 10% off your first website or domain. I'm really going to have to do something about this background. It's pretty, it's pretty not pretty. It's pretty dull, drab, desolate, despondent. It's just, maybe it's good because it draws more of the attention to me. I don't know. I'm not a professional, despite the fact that I do this professionally. But maybe I could. What do you guys think I should put behind me here? Like a fake acacia tree or a banner? Or maybe I could just get a kitchen sink and put it there? I don't know. I feel like I look boring now. Anyways, there is a person, his name's Keenan, I think I can say that much, who bought a few pieces of art off my website. Thank you. Don't go look at my website now. I need to work on it, refresh it. I need to remove all the stuff off of there that got sold, so it's just not a bunch of things saying sold, and I need to list some more pieces. Don't worry about it. Anyways, he bought some pieces, and then he sent me a piece that he drew himself. Check this out. Peter Draws. And it's in a little frame and everything. And it's kind of like a mixed media thing. You can tell this part here is on black paper. Actually, it's like 2 pieces of paper. There's one piece of paper glued on top, and there's one of those like Sharpie chromatic silver pens, and then a white pen. a gel pen maybe. And then a lot of detail here. And then it says Peter draws. Or this part looks like maybe a little accent sign. Maybe it's Peter. Peter draws. Don't mind if I do. Very well done. It's beautiful. Maybe this can go back on the background there. Don't really know how I'd hang it up, but I don't have any hardware to do that with right now, or even tape or anything. I don't even have a bed in this house yet, okay? Pretty much the only thing I set up here so far is this room. I'm still sleeping at my old apartment. Oh, it came with a note. He sent a note, a drawing, and a pen. I'm still subconsciously, habitually looking over here where I used to have a monitor, but I can just look here. It says, Peter, the pen included is a Faber-Castell TG1-S. Now, I used to think this was TGIS, but I looked up, it's actually TG1-S. TG1-S, which originally comes with a steel nib. I have changed out the nib to a jewel nib. Jewel nibs are said to last a lot longer than steel nibs and even tungsten carbide nibs, which are also available for technical pens. The jewel nib has self-wetting properties according to literature and can also be used on a variety of surfaces including glass. The yellow cylinder included is used to remove the nib and is my preferred way of refilling the pen. I hope you enjoy the pen and the art. Keenan. Very nice note there. I wonder what kind of ink this is. It looks pretty cool. Anyways, here is the pen. Pretty sick. The TG1-S. Actually, here it would have been apparent to me. TG1-S. Faber-Castell. And this might look familiar to you because in several of my videos, I have been using another pen, the Rotring Isograph. And there are obvious similarities here. Let me open these up for you. Until now, the Rotring Isograph was my preferred technical pen. This pen has not let me down. I have heard tales and stories of it letting other people down, but for me, it's been a rock star. And then I have tried some other technical pens like the Kohinoor pens. Maybe I just had some old ones, some duds, some knockoffs, some cheaply made ones. I don't know what it was about them, but the Kohinoor ones were, well, complete trash for me. And I thought maybe the Rotring ones were the only good technical pens until I got to this one, which admittedly I haven't tried yet. I'm going to try it here on the video for you, but this one actually looks pretty solid. It looks really good. And I'm excited to try it out. Now, I'm not sure what he means about the jewel nib, to be honest. And I think maybe it has to do with the little like metal part that goes inside the very tip of it here. So I think we should get my very close quarters camera out and see if we can get a very close look. All right, so we've got our little digital, it's not really a microscope because I don't know, you can't really zoom in to see whole cells or anything, but let's put our pen underneath this. All right, there we are. And to be honest, I'm not really sure which part of it is the jewel. You know, I would be tempted to think it's this red part here, but I think he said he replaced that part. And this part doesn't even go under any stress when you're drawing with it. And I mean, I saw other pens, when I looked up this pen, it seems like this part is maybe a standard issue part. So maybe it is this little tip right here. Maybe that's the part that got replaced. See that little part with the hole in it? See, when when you draw, that's the part that touches the paper. So maybe that's the part that would get worn out. In contrast, here's my Rotring Isograph, and you can see it's pretty grimy. This one has a metal nib. Maybe you guys can see the difference more easily than I can, but I also haven't added any ink to this yet or tried using it. He also said his preferred way to fill it was to use this little yellow tube and then to thread it onto here, which then you can use to pull the nib out. See, and then there's the nib. Maybe he just replaced this whole thing. You can also see there's a little metal weight in here that can jiggle back and forth and helps get the ink flowing. And that's one of my favorite things to do with even an isograph. It has a little jiggly thing in there too. And then sometimes when I'm using a non-isograph or technical pen, I find myself jiggling the pen and there's nothing in there to jiggle, right? Oh, so I guess he says he just, instead of popping this container off the back, he just pours ink right in here maybe. Anyways, let's fill it up and let's try it out and let's do a drawing. Once we fill it up, we're going to do a little drawing in this adorable little book. I'll give you a little flip through real quick. Here you go. I'm not sure. I started this several years ago, so I can't speak to my state of mind when I was doing a lot of this. Unsent and misplaced correspondence, courses through the ages. All cataloged and filed alphabetically for your convenience. Here's me finding a needle in a haystack. I expect to kind of want to do something like this today. These are really fun for me to do, these kind of drawings, just whatever you want to call this. This one's nice too. Right, and here we are. An empty page. Here's the ink we're going to fill the pen with. See if I can do it without making a mess. I don't even know if I have any paper towels here. Okay, then we put this in here. Looks pretty good. The construction of this pen, I like it. Seems sturdy, crisp, bright. Some of these Rotrings, like this is not the original body that came with this pen. I had to replace it because the original one was kind of starting to dry rot and there was a crack going down the side of it. So I had to replace it with a spare I had from another pen. So see if we can get it working. Oh, look at that. Working right away. Oh, it feels nice and crisp. And what I mean by that is when it comes to like a technical pen like this, it's nice and scratchy. Like it feels like you're drawing with the tip of a needle. I love that. I'm looking forward to drawing with this. Let's see how it goes. Okay, so yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on with my life right now. I do want to once again apologize for the lack of, I don't know if you'd call it soundproofing or acoustic treatment in my room right now. I do care about audio quality in my videos. I'm not the best at it. Like I've never taken any classes or anything about audio quality, but I try to buy high quality mics, and I think by the time I make the next video, hopefully I'll have some of those acoustic panels up, and I think you will be able to tell the difference, especially when I use that other microphone that I use for the video segments where I talk. That's a different type of microphone that picks up more of the sound from the whole room. And it should sound better. Anyways, a lot of stuff going on in my life right now. I moved, obviously, after that whole incident with the confetti cannon. There was no coming back from that. The apartment was unrecoverable. I think we all saw that coming. That was a rookie mistake on my part, firing that off on inside. I mean, that's not really why I moved, but I mean, it's a good reason to. It's easier to sweep all of that stuff up and get it all up once you've taken everything else out of the whole apartment. That stuff got everywhere. It sticks to everything. It sticks to like if I wasn't wearing shoes or socks, it would stick to the bottom of my feet, the little pieces of confetti. They're like very thin pieces of like foil, like plastic foil, some sort of evil hybrid that would either stick to something because of static electricity or just because of the slightest amount of like oil on my feet or something. They're just the most malicious. It's just like a prank. You know how if you like spill glitter gets everywhere? These are like huge pieces of glitter, like just as annoying, except you can see them everywhere and they catch every glint of light. I was always catching them out of the corner of my eye. I was very careful when I'm packing to not let any of them make it over here to my new place so that my new place doesn't get infected. So the new place is coming along nice. Like I said, I don't have a lot of stuff over here yet. Speaking of infections, I do have an exterminator coming by tomorrow because I do have a mild problem with cockroaches, which are a reoccurring theme in my life that I'm afraid of those. I don't like cockroaches. They're maybe my least favorite thing. Like some people are really, really afraid of like spiders or snakes. I don't really like spiders very much. Snakes I don't have much of a problem with. These things probably all depend on experiences you've had in your life. Like maybe if you ever lived in a house where snakes got inside fairly regularly, you'd probably hate snakes more. But me, my main thing is I don't like cockroaches. Just a second, I gotta take this off. Yeah, so I got it. I've been spraying some stuff, but look, I know the pesticides, the stuff you spray to like keep cockroaches out and kill them and stuff like that is definitely not healthy. Like I would be wearing a face mask and I'll be spraying it around like the edges of my floor, like around the baseboards and stuff like that. And I could tell that it was negatively affecting my health, but I mean, I could never feel like comfortable in a house, after like recently seeing a cockroach crawling around, because they just look, the thing about cockroaches, it's like so many other bugs, if they see you like walking up to them, they'll skitter away, right? And that's like creepy that they skitter away and they disappear into little holes and you can't tell where they're going or where they're coming from. They could be lurking at any time, anywhere almost, because they can fit into anything and under anything and in between and around and about, and they could crawl up walls. They could be lurking on your ceilings. They could go up your pant leg, under your covers while you're sleeping. While you're gone during the day, they could be crawling across your pillow. All these things I hate about all bugs. But then like cockroaches are even worse for a few reasons. And one of them is that sometimes if you see one on the floor, instead of skittering away from you, they have like half the brain of a regular insect. Sometimes they skitter towards you. And it's just, it makes my skin crawl. I don't like them at all. Anyways, I'll stop talking about cockroaches. I'm going to solve the problem, and then I will feel very comfortable and at home here. And everything's going to be great. I'm looking forward to it. Yes. Okay, look, there's another big thing in my life that changed. A lot of you knew that last year I started going back to school. I completed 2 semesters at UNCG, which is University of North Carolina at Greensboro. I went kind of on a whim, really. I was like, hey, I should go back to school. I want to. Like, I was excited about it, and I enjoyed it. I loved it. I had a great first year back after dropping out for 9 years. I went in with maybe 40 something credit hours, which is maybe the equivalent of being like a late sophomore or an early junior, if that means anything to you. But anyway, so I finished another year, and then here I was ready. I enrolled again for another year of the interior architecture program, which is a weird combination of architecture and interior design. But as you know, the whole world is in turmoil right now due to this whole COVID-19 thing. And I went into a couple of my classes, and as I went into the studio class, I could tell I wasn't going to enjoy it. I sat there, and I could tell I sat there for 3 hours for the first studio class, and that's pretty much the normal length for a studio class. But during that 3 hours, I just gradually got more and more upset. And I was like, if this is how I could just see how things were going to unfold. I could see how things were going to be, how things were going to be run, and how they're different compared to the previous year due to the restrictions the school was under due to the pandemic, right? And so I could tell. I was like, I'm not going to enjoy this semester. And on top of that, I'm not going to feel like I'm getting my money's worth. So right after that, I went home and I dropped out. I went on the website for the school and I just dropped out of all of my classes. And a week later, I had a full refund, except for my parking pass, which of course was exorbitantly expensive, but that's okay. I got everything, almost everything back tuition-wise. But yeah, it's just like the whole point of like a studio class like that. I don't know if, and I'm sure it doesn't really mean anything to you for me to just say studio, but basically it's supposed to be like a collaborative community of like students. So everyone goes in and you can be there and you can go in whenever you want and just interact with everybody. But the whole thing about COVID is they were trying to limit interaction between people, right? That's the whole thing that they're trying to stop. So only half of the class could go in at a time. Everyone had like an A day. There's like an A class and a B half of the class, and one half would go in on Mondays and the other half would go in on Wednesdays, and then we'd have like everyone would get in on Zoom, and we'd have to wear masks the whole time, and I couldn't even hear my professors even when I was in the classroom with them, and I'd have to get on the Zoom class on the Zoom, whatever it's called, and even I'd have to get on Zoom even just to hear the professor talking that was 20 feet away from me in the classroom because everyone's talking through masks, and we're sitting at like a desk, like a pod, right? A group of 4 people. Only one of my partners is there. The other 2 are sitting at home on Zoom. How am I supposed to collaborate with these people? I could just tell I was just upset with it from the beginning. I was like, I can't do this. Look, thankfully, unlike a lot of these other students, I have plenty of things I can work on for the next semester, or I think it'll be probably the next year. It'll probably be another year before I try going back to school again, because the way this program is scheduled, it's you kind of take it in 1 year chunks. We'll wait a year, see if all this blows over, and if things normalize again, I can try it again. And that was one of my favorite things about school, that I could go there and spend time there. Like I had somewhere that wasn't me sitting at home, because that's what I was doing anyways for like the past 8 or 9 years. I wanted to get out and about, and then they were making all these rules like, can't even move your chair over to be closer to someone because, social distancing. And I think these rules are important, but I don't have to go be there and be part of it. So I'm not. Yeah. So I'm all yours. I'm going to be here, I guess, just concentrating on making YouTube videos and stuff instead of splitting my concentration between YouTube and school. So hopefully I'm excited about that. And now I've moved to this new house. Well, not a new house, but new to me. And got a little bit extra room here for my studio, and maybe there's like a little deck out back. Maybe I can do stuff out there. I don't know. There's all sorts of options. I'm excited and optimistic about the future. Also, I'm about to go on a little vacation out to the beach for a few days. So try to do my best at getting rejuvenated, because sometimes I'm not the best at actually taking breaks or vacations. I don't know, something about my personality type that I gauge I value myself based on how productive I'm being. So sometimes I'm not good at just sitting back and recharging and relaxing. I mean, I'll probably take some sketchbooks and probably take a camera there too, just in case I want to record something. And that's okay if I do, but also I would like to get good at just relaxing, right? We'll see. Anyway, so yep, 2 big updates for me. I moved, and now I'm a 2-time college dropout, and everything's good. It's okay to drop out, I took a break year, and in fact, I took 9 break years, and now I'm going to take my 10th break year, and it'll be fine. And yeah. Anyways, thanks for sticking around with me as I go through all these weird stages in my life, but I'm enjoying it. Thanks for watching these little drawings too. I did 2 drawings. I did these little drawings because I needed to get this video done before I went on my little vacation. So I didn't want to do too big of a drawing, because sometimes the really big drawings take me a few days to edit them and everything. So I thought if I maybe kept it smaller, then it wouldn't take me as long, and thankfully it hasn't. Anyways, this is a weird video. I think it's like 20 minutes of footage before the actual drawing starts. One day I'll stop feeling weird about that, but it is not this day. Someday in the future. Okay. Goodbye, everyone. Hope you have a good one. Goodbye. Take care. See you later.